Hey everybody, welcome to another digital edition of the Writer's Block. Today we have my friend Janice Debo, who's been, again, incredibly patient while we get all this off the road. Janice is an international personal development training and coaching professional. I met when she was looking for advice and guidance, and I was looking for advice and guidance, and we forged not only a professional relationship, but also a really great mutually supportive friendship, and it's really great to have her here today while I figure out whether I can do this with my glasses or not. Whether it's just a friend or her client, she asks the questions that help her interlocutors figure themselves out and figure their futures out. And one of the keys to that is this wonderful prompted journal, the Courage, Confidence, and Connections Journal, which will be the focus of our discussion today. A really great thing, whether you journal or not. I really hadn't been in the practice, but now I definitely am, and have passed on some of the questions to friends and colleagues and even used them in business meetings. So it's been a really productive thing, and I'm looking forward to discussing it with Janice, and it's great. I've been looking forward to having you on the show. This is terrific. So I'm glad we're finally able to do this, and grateful to have such patient, wonderful friends. So welcome, Janice.
Oh, thank you. This is absolutely fabulous. It took us a while, but we are here.
All right. So tell us about your own career path and some of the challenges that you faced that help you have such effective empathy with your friends and clients.
How long is this show? Just kidding.
Well, let's top three.
Oh my goodness. Well, my challenges have been many over my lifespan, as are most of us have those things. However, what I have learned is to laugh and dance through some of my life challenges, and there are some blogs about that in the book. One is called Dancing Through the Wreckage, and the wreckage has been anywhere from nearly homeless to changing careers to getting fired multiple times and getting back up. That's my best advice. Just get back up, spend some time with yourself. And that's why the journal is here, is to help people reflect and learn that they can. And again, I always tell people this on every interview. When people say, well, how are you so brave and courageous? I said, well, at the time I wasn't. I didn't think I was being. And it's when I look back and go, wow, I walked through that. And it wasn't graceful. It wasn't pretty, but I did it.
Right. Yeah. No, I had kind of a nickname for a while of Rubber Butt Robinson, fall down 7, get up 8. So I totally, as with so many things, I totally relate to that. And that relatability, I've worked with a lot of coaches and a lot of people who think they're coaches, but working with you has been such a pleasure and such a life expander. And I really hope that people see this and reach out to you. So how did you first, what was your turn where you realized that, you have to stay positive, and, what prompted you to, it's a bold shift. And so what prompted your shift?
Well, in the midst of I'd come out of a pretty brutal divorce, and housing out here at the time. And mind you, everybody knows what 2020 was like. Well, that's when I went through this. So in the early parts of 2021 or 2022, somewhere in there, I was getting some coaching from someone I had known for probably 10 years. I don't know. And she's a very powerful coach, very intuitive. So one day she was working with me and she goes, why are you so angry? And I'm like, well, duh. And so she said, okay. So we worked through it. But honestly, having her, if you will, give me a butt kick or two, it helped me to go, wait a minute, I am being really negative. That is not helping my situation. I'll say this, it is difficult in the middle of our problems. And when we're sitting in the gutter, it's hard to look up and go, okay, yeah, I see the sunshine. So what? I'm getting sunburned. Okay. It's just what it is. And sometimes you have to go smell the roses, even when you're in the middle of something else. So.
Yeah. No, I teach this type of stuff at the prison that I work at, and if those guys can see a way forward after what they've been through, so it's wonderful to find other people who have that insight and that larger scope. So, when did you decide or get the feeling that you could in turn impart these lessons and support to other people?
It was during that tough time, I just started blogging, and I didn't know it was going to turn into anything, Matt. I had no idea it was going to become a book and help so many people. However, in the middle of that, I just started blogging. And one day I'm sitting in my recliner, as I like to do, and the words courage, confidence, connections just dropped. And I went, wow, I like that. So I wrote it down. And it was 3 years later when I realized, with a friend who's a publisher and editor, she goes, let's turn it into a journal. This is perfect for a journal, not just a book. And at that time, at the time I was sitting in the middle of the issues, I had no idea that my stories could impact people. And I was a coach, but that really transitioned me into a deeper level of coaching too.
What are some of your favorite prompts, or the ones that other people have told you have they've related to most profoundly?
Well, on my podcast, also called Courage, Confidence, and Connections. Oh, that's right. You've been a guest. Yeah. Anyway, y'all go watch his interview with me. It was great.
And all the other ones. They're all
and all the others. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, okay. The question just.
What are some of the prompts in the journal that people resonate with most?
Oh, the reason I flipped there is I went to the YouTube thought pattern, but a friend of mine was watching one of my interviews, and she said, well, and it was actually about the book, somebody else interviewing me. She said, well, how do you dance through the wreckage? How do you do that? That particular blog is one of my favorites. And I said, well, you just get up. That's really the bottom line. If it means getting off the couch, going for a walk, standing outside, taking some deep breaths, you get up, you take one step at a time, be they baby steps or whatever. You take one step at a time. And so that has been a real thing. That's something I've used with many of my clients. I've got clients that are in all kinds of messes. And my first words are, okay, let's look at what's going on. Let's look at the priorities. What do you need to do next? You can't do it all at once. None of us can. We like to think we're super women, Superman, whatever. Yeah, we can do it all. Yeah, eventually, but not all at one time. Multitasking is frankly a myth. And so I just tell people, take one thing at a time, look at your priorities, and see what you can do, and celebrate, no matter how little it is. Congratulate yourself, celebrate, and be very grateful that you can get one thing done, if that's all it is, in one day.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said. Now, I mean, you looking at your podcast and seeing from the journal, it is clear that your approach and your advice can apply to pretty much anybody. But do you have a favorite type of client, or a favorite issue, if that's not an odd way to put it?
No, that's fine. All of my clients are my favorites. If I didn't say that publicly, I'd get backlash. But but accountability is one of my biggest strengths. That and I never knew that until I looked at the pattern of how I worked with people. And I have a coach too who said, you really hold people accountable, but you do it in a compassionate way. And I do. I'm very compassionate with my clients, because I've been in situations when you're in a hard place. You don't need somebody yelling at you, beating you up and criticizing you. And I really pause and let them reflect, and let them just the gentle, compassionate questions, but being accountable. That is a huge, huge thing for me. And believe me, I hold myself accountable too. I'm probably not as easy on myself as I am on my clients, but I'm learning. And but accountability, Matt, is one of my biggest strengths, and communication, as you already know.
Which are sadly both in decline these days. I would surmise from my experience and from discussions with you. Where just so we have it explicitly, where is the best way to find all of the wonderful things that you do and to connect with you? Is it the website you mentioned before? Are there others?
Just one website, JaniceDebo.com. I kept it simple. Yep. So
Okay.
you don't have to type too much.
That's how we found each other, because I still can't
Yes.
type after. Yeah. So, what else would you like to add to your quiver, your repertoire, your services, if anything?
Well, I have made the move, taking my podcast in addition to the YouTube platform and my website. I'm on a network on Roku. I'm on a international network and
Wow.
radio. Yeah, I moved into those areas too, and I
Congratulations.
thank you. And I do summits. I'm in a summit this July. I was invited to be a guest speaker, and I am working on
Where's that geographically, or is it all is it digital or
online.
both? Okay.
It'll be
Okay.
online. Yes, it'll be online. It's
Great.
for women over 50 because that's her genre. She
Right.
works with women over 50. And she invited me to be a speaker because we've been in multiple recording sessions with each other as well. And I'm doing a summit in September that I'm putting together fervently. I also do classes and train individuals, groups, and teams. I love to train teams. I can make a difference in your communication and trust building with teams. Those are things that I really enjoy. And public speaking, I can speak virtually anywhere. Um, and if you get my book, you'll see that I got a lot of different areas that I speak on.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, just to kind of go back into the theme of this show, what did the writing or the curating the pieces for the book? What was that a difficult process? Did the actual process did the process of writing and publishing educate the rest of your career in any way? How did the book itself fit into everything else that you do?
At the time that I got the idea from my friend to publish it as a journal, I think I had 90 or 100 blogs on my website already. And she challenged me to pick out the ones that you feel are most relevant to put in a journal with this title. So that process was fun. I had to go through and do my own editing, which she double checked everything. And get ready to have that book put out. I did have to write some additional ones, but I didn't write it all at once. It was over a span of a couple of years that the
Mm.
blogs were written. I simply went back and made some of them relevant, maybe a little more relevant, but I didn't have to do a lot except tweaking here and there and getting it to her. And then I read the final copy. It was a process that I learned attention to detail. I learned that I can edit books because I've done that now. I've already done a couple of edits for people. I do that. I proofread. It taught me that I can do things that I never dreamed of. And about, let's see, the lady that set me up on the TV. It's her international empire. I'll give her a plug. Raven Glover.
Okay. All right.
She's great. Anyway, I had spoken with her, Matt. She did a radio interview with me in 2014. I don't know how we found each other. She found me. I owned an online business for women, and she did an interview with me back then. And going through some old journals, which I have a big, big stack of, I found that I made a note in one of my journals in 2014 that I was going to be on radio and TV and doing speaking and writing, and I was shocked. So if you've got a dream and you pay attention, you might lose sight of it, but I had no idea that was coming. But I learned I can do things. And doing interviews is getting more and more frequent, and interviewing people I had no idea I could do it. But when you're in sales for 30 years, yeah, you're interviewing people every day.
Right. Yeah. Is you said that you had to kind of go through all your blogs and entries. Is there a volume 2 coming? Are there some that were tough to cut that you're hoping to bring into publishing soon?
I am hoping for a volume 2. I have now almost 170 on my website, which means I will be writing more. And however, I think I've got 20 some of those that are holiday related. She didn't want those in this first journal. There may be a section in the second one, in the one to come, but they're they are definitely, some of them are heavier, if you will. They're emotionally, they could be heavier for people, such as I have a good friend who's also an author. Oh, I need to connect you with him. You need to interview him.
Okay.
Okay, pause. Okay, a little commercial there. But, but he and I were having lunch one day about 2 years ago, and I told him I was writing a blog called The Key, and I was describing it to him. He read it, and he said, I'd like to create that image for you, because it's all about the fact that we have the key ourselves to our lives. And he came up with an image that is on the website of an old guy. I mean, clearly old. He's sitting there holding a key in his hand, and he's looking out the window, but he's still in prison. He's got the key to get out, but he's still in prison. That was the theme, and that picture said it beautifully. So a lot of the blogs cause a deep reflection, and where am I holding myself back? What am I thinking that's causing me problems in my life? And so things like that. Volume 2 is definitely, on the in the brain, and yeah, I got a lot of projects going on.
Right. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, people are always asking me, where the sequels to my books, and when am I going to write for this magazine or that magazine again? I was like, two hands, one brain. Anyway, so it's all we can do. Well, I mean, at the risk of overwhelming you, I'm going to tell everyone who's watching to check out your website, to reach out to you, even if you don't think you have things in the way. Janice will help you find your own keys, unlock doors you didn't know that were even in your house, as it were. And I'm just so glad that we were finally able to do this and to see you again. Thank you. And please keep us posted about Volume 2, Volume 3, the entire library. And hopefully we'll keep seeing people back here on the Writer's Block. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
All right.
That was short and sweet. It's perfect.
Yeah, it worked out. Okay.
So was this live? Do you do it live?
It's recorded.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see the record up there. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and recording.